This is Resident Evil 3 Remake. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. Well, look who it is. So this is a game that actually does benefit from the overhead on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Uh-oh. It's taking what we had with the PlayStation 5 upgrade and allowing us to actually really properly enjoy some of the visual options here. So technically there are like 3 different visual choices, and we'll be diving in and talking about that in regards to what you get and what they have to offer for this particular console, which is exciting. So this remakes Resident Evil 3. It does basically get the full experience, but there are, like, it gets the gist of the full experience, but there are elements where it doesn't fully capture the original game, if that makes sense. Like, there's missing aspects of it, which might be a little disappointing to some of the more hardcore fans out there that really want the full experience. Maybe they'll get it right on the remake someday. Now, this is a really good looking game. It's one that holds up incredibly well. And I can't really see them being able to take this any further anytime soon in terms of technology, unless they were wanting to push out like a way higher possible resolution, maybe on like a future console. I don't know. I don't really see that being possible here. You get a nightmare about being a zombie. Yes, I'm trying to press that button. Holy, nothing but issues, am I right? So anyways, pretty interesting story. We follow a singular perspective here, where you are basically being like chased, stalked, and having to deal with a pretty monstrous presence that is a close pal of yours over the course of the narrative. And that's kind of what you got here, because like Resident Evil 2 Remake, you basically were given, kind of multiple perspectives, right? You could do Claire or Leon. Whereas this we get a singular, joyous Jill perspective. So this is the ray tracing mode. So in the game, you actually have to go to the main menu in order to change things, which is kind of annoying, but that's how it works. So we've got the ray tracing mode on. So the ray tracing mode is dynamic 4K. It's 60 FPS. It's got some ray trace reflections. Some elements are reflected, not everything. And global illumination. So this is actually kind of the mode that I would kind of recommend playing, because on the base PlayStation 5, it didn't really have the power to fully give us this mode running smoothly. Whereas here, we are actually getting a relatively smooth 4K 60. And I think the results are pretty fantastic. Like, it looks great. She's really taking a pounding from our boy Nemesis there. I don't think the door is gonna stop him there, dear. So anyways, this is a mode I would definitely recommend trying, especially since it's just like very tech pushing, if that makes sense. Like it actually like looks and runs good now, and yeah, it's kind of an easy sort of option to recommend if you're taking a look at this on the Pro. You want to play a Resident Evil game. This is not a bad way to experience things. So we're gonna go to the main menu here. We're gonna show off the other options so you get an idea of it. Just so you get an idea of the different visual settings here. Don't want to spend too long enjoying high visuals. We gotta adjust things. So we're going to get into graphics. We're going to turn off the ray tracing. We're going to turn on the high frame rate mode. So this is where it's like, again, I said 3 modes. So it's 2 in 1 here. So high frame rate mode or frame rate mode off, as long as the ray tracing is off, are basically the same thing. The big difference, though, is that when you have... so in general, it's a dynamic 4K. But when you have the high frame rate mode off at 60, when you have it on, it goes up to 120 FPS, and this is actually very close to actually hitting that full 120 FPS at 4K. Again, dynamic 4K, but it's pretty much full 4K. and you're getting those upper bounds that are close to 120 FPS. And it's very fluid, it's very smooth, it looks great, plays really well. HDR across the board, which is kind of expected. And yeah, this mode is sort of your general thing. Like if you're somebody that doesn't have a 120Hz display, you've got an older screen, you're probably better off just going with, you know, the ray trace mode, right? The 4K 60 with the ray tracing. Ow, that, you have no idea how much that would actually hurt. She'd probably get bruised right across her stomach for like, it'd be a gnarly bruise from that, especially not just hitting the door too. Anyways, doesn't matter. She's a tough protagonist, what can I say? Especially dealing with a nemesis chasing you through the fire. This game looks so good. It's a bit of a shame they didn't push to do the full scope proper styling of it. Anyway, who cares? They'll get it right next time. I'm sure eventually they'll redo all these. Probably not for a long time because it's not needed, but I'm sure eventually it'll happen. And we'll sit there and we'll be like, wow, can it look any better? And I'll give you a secret I've learned over doing this many years. It can always look better, honestly. You may think it can't get better, and then you come a few years later and you're like, oh yeah, okay, no, it can look better, and then it always does. Although these remakes Resident Evil look pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, the biggest thing here, though, is for those that have the high frame rate displays, it's kind of cool to play this at 120 FPS. Like, resolution-wise, it looks sharp and clean. Fluidity-wise, it feels smooth. Feels more natural, realistic. But it is sort of an element of, like, getting those current-gen flares going on, as in the flare of having those extra effects. And I would just say, you know, you have choices, right? If you're doing this one alongside the 2 remake, I would maybe sit there and be like, okay, you know, how do I want to approach this? How do I want to go about it? Try the high frame rate mode, try the ray tracing, kind of see what effects you like. And mostly it's like either or, really, honestly. You can go either way. You can have really high frames, or you can have some ray tracing effects. I think your experience is great. Basically, either way you go about it for this game, honestly. Same with the second one. And I do a video of that on the channel too, so you can check that out if you need to. So many zombies! Whoa. So if you're not familiar with the third Resident Evil, you are making your way through kind of open, but largely they're linear spaces that open more as you do some puzzles. Uh-oh. Why would you let them back in the door, dude?
Don't think about it.
Cut that arm off, man. Does it even work in the Resident Evil universe? I've actually never thought about that.
No, I don't.
Are we still a
She looks
team?
great.
Always.
Then do me a favor. Don't fuck up like I did. Go!
Enjoy getting eaten, bro. Can't believe he's dead like that. Yeah, Brad had it coming. Wasn't a very smart partner. They did such a good job with this character. I don't know, do I really want to waste bullets? So yeah, you're puzzle solving, you are moving through the environment. As you finish certain challenges, you will be able to essentially like get to new areas, you get better weapons and tools as you progress. It's a decently lengthy game too. I think we streamed this one all over on the channel too, which was fun. And it was a great time, honestly. I had a lot of fun playing this game. I think it holds up pretty well. Like, it is the original game too. You gotta keep that in mind, right? Like, this is a remake of a game. So the idea is, and I think they do a pretty good job of it, is to recreate that experience.
The parking garage isn't far.
The only safe place is in here.
He's not wrong. There's nowhere really safe here. Let's be real. And of course, the usual inventory management. And yeah, a pretty compelling experience. It's kind of great having Resident Evils like this. It's kind of funny because it's like we're getting, you know, we've gotten so many remakes and we're at the point where I think the original actually needs another remake and kind of get it up with things. But at least most of the games are pretty similar to this. I am anticipating eventually we're going to see like 5 and 6 remade as well down the line, as alongside another one being announced. Uh-oh. Just because, you know, there is room to actually get these all looking like this, right? Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. What a journey. And of course, you can't forget you got your buddy chasing you the whole time. It's a great experience. The story is pretty interesting, and I like how they handle the character and how she's got a couple individuals that she sort of interacts with along the way. And it's quite a ride. Honestly, it really is. Yeah, there goes that chopper. I think they even said in recent, like, kind of interview type things, they almost regret not doing the full package on this one.
Sorry.
As in, like, not properly doing, you know, the full experience. I think they regret that, and it made this one a little less successful than it could have really been. Come on.
It's my turn, bitch.
I feel like you wouldn't get enough, you know, of a jump against this guy driving from that short of a distance, right? Like, you're not getting your full potential momentum. I will say this, I don't necessarily think she's done anything that would get her concussed, but she's going to be pretty bruised all over getting through all the stuff, getting thrown around that building, going off of a building like this. I'd be like, are you kidding me? Anyways, though, I guess you're, like, in YouTube it's not supporting the 120 FPS, right? So you're not really seeing the full level of fluidity, but that's mostly why I'm not switching down to the 60, because, like, I know it's dynamic, but it's not really, like, a meaningful, crazy amount of dynamic. Like, it is pretty 4K. So it's, like, theoretically lowering it would make it look a little better, maybe, but it's a very, very good looking thing. That's that guy. Shaggy McShaggy guy.
Hey, easy, lady. I got you.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Name's Carlos, and I'm saving you. Come on, let's get you someplace safe.
I don't think that thing's done yet. I don't know why they don't ever try to, like, finish him off or anything and be like, we kind of injured him, maybe we should, like, you know,
I think we're in the clear.
give him a bit of a finish off here. So we're just going to skip ahead and get back to the gameplay. And then I'm going to go back, and we're going to turn on the ray tracing, so we can show off more of that action during regular gameplay. Yeah, I know. All kinds of stuff to do all the time on this one. On the bright side, though, it is genuinely amazing how fast you're able to switch between stuff, because it's like, we can back out here, we can turn this on, story continue, and we'll be back in a game in, like, seconds.
Oh,
It's just like comparing to how simple the video games like they used to be back in the day. You get what I mean? Like, they were a lot more simplistic in comparison to this.
nothing.
Like, same designs, everything, but, you know, visually and the assets and all that. And yet our games now are just like
Don't you like that?
half a second to load, and back then you'd have to actually wait. Like, I guess Resident Evil used to open doors and it would load, and that was part of the atmosphere, but
I'm with the Umbrella Biohazard counter.
yeah, you know, it is the idea of, it used to take a little bit of time, and now it takes nothing to get into stuff.
You guys are the ones who caused all of this.
Whoa. What are you talking about? Look, we're just here to help people. What's wrong with Umbrella?
What's wrong with Umbrella? Oh my god. Your company is responsible for infecting everyone.
Yeah. I don't know anything about all that.
How convenient.
Look, you don't have to trust me, but I'm going to the shelter. You coming?
I'll come, but I know there's gonna be other stuff I gotta do. Dino bites! It is incredibly realistic, though. It's gonna be really weird, because I know for sure that this is a series that is gonna be one where they keep, like, redoing it, revamping it. Like, it is going to be quite odd to
Hey, Captain.
basically, like, come back someday and, like, check out a remake of this, I'd be like, yeah, be fascinating how they pull that off.
Fine young lady, her name? She is an elite operative of RPD, Special Tactics and Rescue Service. Her name is something Valentine.
It's Jill.
Jill it is.
Nice to meet you, Jill. I am UBCS platoon leader Mikhail Viktor. My team was sent here to rescue civilians.
Right. How's that going for you?
He is completely cut off.
Anyways, we're gonna just get back into the action.
First, we need to get you geared up. Head up to street level. You'll find supplies there.
Thanks, man, for nothing. Yeah, collectibles and things to gather too. You know, the usual stuff. I still can't get over how great this game looks. Like, genuinely, this looks fantastic. Very realistic, very well designed. But I'm sure that's how people also felt back in the day, right? I feel that way too. Like, I'll play older games, I'll be like, I think this looks great. And then I'll play a remake and I'm like, holy, okay.
So what's the plan?
The old tanks got me clearing the tracks. You might get in the subway infrastructure.
Playing through my controller.
And how do I do that?
Let's start by restoring power. I'll navigate you to the substation once you hit the
Good thing they left these healing herbs for me here.
Fast.
How convenient of them. That's very nice of them to leave me these items here. So like, I love the idea of us sitting here and like, essentially like wheeling this stuff together. And this like, you know, we're like creating like cases of bullets and stuff, and it's kind of funny. How do you knife? No, there we go. I should have mixed it with the red and the I didn't even think of that. And we got ourselves a little unit to like hide stuff in.
More survivors.
Where do you go under where she's like running from? Wouldn't that like make you feel like it's not safe? Yeah, let's leave the safety entrance open. No, it's not like zombies will like slide back in there or anything, am I right? Oh, you! Oh, you! That was so good. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed. This really does look fantastic, though. Did you stop eating me? Like, I know I've got the looks, but seriously. But yeah, in general, it's just a really great game. Its one weakness, really, is just kind of its, like, length and scale. Which, it is a bit of a shame that we didn't get, like, the full, you know, scoped experience for Resident Evil 3, but still a fine time, fun character, and well done story setup. A lot to enjoy here. A lot of zombies to shoot, lots of weapons to gather, areas to visit, things to explore.
Carlos, I've reached the main avenue. Which way do I go?
See a big transmission tower? That's the substation.
No, we're not getting straight through that way. Well, I mean, we could technically.
You mean the alley that's on fire?
Maybe. Surely a tall drink of water like yourself can put out a few flames.
Fuck you.
Eh.
Gotta put this out.
We're gonna have to get a hose in order to put out that fire. We even had time to put those things up, or were they there before the zombies? Always so many questions about this stuff. Good thing there's this conveniently placed explosive barrel. And this is a little survival oriented too, like you're supposed to place your shots, make the right moves, take out people at the right time. Lone Wolf cigarettes. It's pretty classy. I don't know, a lot to love about this one, and it looks really good here on the PlayStation 5 Pro.